Today my homage to the artist I love dearly, Louise Bourgeois. The artist I know by heart, yet I still discover and wonder every time I see her works. This summer was an exhibit of her paintings at the Met, a small one. Magic. For the past 6 months, I have immersed myself in her art. Louise is famous for her installation art and sculpture. Yet, I came to see her paintings and I felt mesmerized. The same feeling I have when I see Picasso. I am not at rest. My eyes are not at rest. This is shocking and provocative. Bullfight. I would call it a bullfight. Yet it is powerful but fragile. Powerful and fragile. For a reason, there was an exhibit of Picasso and Bourgeois works in 2019 in Zurich. Anatomy of Desire. Two giants in art and life, and their work in a dialogue. I love the book. I haven't seen the exhibit with my own eyes, but I can imagine. The art of Louise was not meant to please the eye. It was meant to provoke your feelings, to speak loud about the experience of being a woman, a mother, a wife, a neglected daughter, of your alienation, loneliness, fears, desires, rage, sexuality. So the small exhibit, the Femme Maison, depicts female bodies, nude female bodies, which are fully exposed to us except for their heads and torsos. Because houses that cover their heads and torsos, except for houses that cover their heads and torsos. What first comes to mind is the idea of femininity. What it meant for her to be a mother, a wife, an artist, a woman artist in the 50s. I hate to say that. Why the goddamn I should emphasize that Louise was a woman artist? Why the goddamn I should emphasize that Louise was a woman artist? My apologies. Society and culture she lived in did. So you can imagine it was the time of abstract expressionism. Jackson Pollock, Mark Rothko, Willem de Kooning. And she was an outsider. She didn't have a place there. And she struggles with what it means to be a good mother, wife, an artist. We have many expectations of what it means in the eyes of many, don't we? Oh, we do. Then I came to the museum and I look at these naked women, and it's the idea of the house comes to my mind. What does it mean? The house we live in, or the house from our childhood? For me, it's a place there we should feel safe. This is what it means for me. It is a place of our memories. Maybe this is why they are naked. Louise is telling a story. Once Louise said, "My childhood never lost its drama, never lost its mystery. I refused to let it go because, as painful as it was, this was life itself." How many of us, me included, myself included, have this courage to dig into painful memories? How many of us, myself included, have this courage to dig into painful memories? bring them to the surface as it is, without asking for compassion, and transform pain into beauty. Forgive me, Pablo. I know you are listening. Yes, yes, two giants in art, anatomy of desire, with only one difference. Louise needed to dig into pain, and Pablo into pleasure. I see these paintings and I hear her fearless voice. Yes, sometimes I feel trapped in this house, sometimes lonely. I have fears and desires, and I am a woman, and I am this giant figure without a face, and sometimes I feel on fire, and many memories, good and bad, but I am so strong that I can lift up the house, and yet I am so fragile. But this is the place where I belong. This is not a prison she wants to break out of. Instead, she wants to find a balance. The sexuality of these women is exposed. Louise is not afraid to show it. She doesn't give a damn. But see, the minds, the heads are closed. I want to read the poem by a magnificent poet, by Joe Harjo. Since seeing the Femme Maison, I have been thinking about this poem. She had some horses. She had some horses. She had horses who said they weren't afraid. She had horses who lied. She had horses who told the truth. She had some horses. She had horses who called themselves horse. She had horses who called themselves spirit and kept their voices secret and to themselves. She had horses who had no names. She had horses who had book of names. She had some horses. She had horses who whispered in the dark, who were afraid to speak. She had horses who screamed out of fear of the silence. She had horses who waited for destruction. She had horses who waited for resurrection. She had some horses. She had horses who thrived. She had some horses. She had horses who tried to save her. She had some horses she loved. She had some horses she hated. These were the same horses. Some horses are male, some are female, some with no gender, and some are just life experiences and memories, good or bad. There is pain and beauty, the ability to make your personal experience as something you care for. These experiences are painful, are pleasant, they are still in your possession, a source for making art. You need to be fearless to transform pain into beauty. The spider, why the spider? Louise Bourgeois wrote in one of her books, Ode à Ma Mère, because my best friend was my mother, and she was clever, patient, reasonable, neat, and as useful as a spider. Ode à Louise.